All right, we got video here. We're going down the Lake Drive. I don't know which one this is. This is, last time we went down the Medina Trail. But we're not going to Medina Trail. We're doing the Mission Trail. Heads down along the river. It's a pretty good route. See what we see. It's a nice beautiful day, kind of warm, a little bit less humid. Let's get this going. All right. Just realized I forgot my water. That sucks. Crazy, the river's way down there, but somehow they've got a canal, which I assume is with river water, way up here. It's the Espada Aqueduct. Yeah, man, how many? So at some point upriver, they cut this aqueduct into the side of the hill. That is nuts. They bring river water up to the hill. Kind of cool. some of the artwork. As you can see, since the last ride, it's starting to dry out. It only took a couple, maybe a week. You get these hot temperatures. If we don't get rain constantly in July and August, then it's going to just start drying out. The river's full though. It's flowing. So this particular bike trail will take you all the way up to the Alamo and beyond. We're heading out from south side of the city, heading into the middle of the city. And this is on the Mission Trails. Mission Trail connects all the different missions in San Antonio. And of course, these missions were here before the city was here, with the city being over 300 years old. So it's a little, what time is it? All right, so now we're going to cross Mission Parkway, head up to the Riverwalk. It's one of the many dams that keep flooding and the river in check. Not quite crusted. The San Antonio River, it's really naturally narrow, somewhat deep. I mean, not super deep. Yeah, by East Coast standards, it's probably a creek, but it flows all the time. And then the architect created these dams, which made it wider to kind of control flooding, but also trap some water here for recreational purposes. A lot of people fish. You're going to see quite a few people along here. It's just a great place. Hang out. It's oddly, with the water right off to the right there and trees, it's a little bit cooler down here. Not much, a little bit. we come off river, because there's an old neighborhood off to the right here. You know, back when this was outside of the city. Really neat homes. They all multi-acre homes with riverfront property, most of it. So, trail takes a little deviation here. I think there's 1 or 2 suspension bridges coming up. Yeah, 2. Here comes the second one. So that group that rode by, that's the actual group I was supposed to be with. I got a late start. So you can see they're already rolling. They started towards the middle of the city. I think they're actually headed to the lake, Burgess Lake. It's their destination today. We'll ride with them again in the future. All right, let's head back down. We'll head back down to the river. It's a great big park here, lots to do, lots of family recreation. Big area for kids. Some sports fields. That's what we're riding through right now. Take it easy down this curve. And then across the river. Actually, we're going to go straight. It's the next bridge we want to cross. You end up there, I think it's another Mission or Hot Wells, maybe up that way. A guy had a shirt on, said money, power, respect. It's too bad his priorities are all out of whack. Sad thing. It's reality that these young folk believe that they're in. Unless you have money, you don't have power nor respect. Certainly money and power bring about an expectation of respect, but with the views of people like our president, or people's views of our president. That's clearly not the case. Respect is earned. Now, I'm not making a political statement there. I'm making a statement about society. You can't, honestly, that guy has a shirt on, money, power, respect. And he'll probably in the same breath tell you he doesn't respect the president. That's what I'm saying. Respect is earned, though. It's earned through actions, deeds, morals, beliefs, and words. This young group today, it's hard to explain that in a TikTok. And they're being bombarded with messages to the opposite. I fear that one of the, Winston Churchill, right? He said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I would say that today's world, or today's youth, and maybe even some of us old guys, it's not the fear. They've embraced the fear. They live with the fear, so much so they don't want to get rid of it. They'd rather fear than act. And why is that? I gotta say that a lot of it has to do with fear of failure. And there's a concept I've heard a couple times by different people. An author named Maxwell. Denzel Washington did it at, I think, a commencement speech. And the concept is essentially, instead of having fear of failing, concentrate on failing forward. And I've always had that kind of thought in my head. If you're gonna fail at something, or you're gonna try something new, to think that you're gonna get it right away it's just not a mature thinking pattern, right? Everything new comes with failure. But it's how you embrace it. If you fear failure, you're gonna fail, you're gonna try again, fail, try again, fail. And then you're gonna probably call upon some axiom like only definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Sure. But if you try something over and over again and learn or study why the outcome either remained the same or maybe didn't change but changed just a little bit in the positive, you're now taking on a whole nother aspect to or approach to failure. And that's what I kind of refer to as failing forward. That no matter what happens, if you had a program line that started with your current situation or your current status, and at the end of the line you had where you want to be or what you want to do or something you want to do as your goal. And you're going to try something and you're going to evaluate what went wrong when you didn't hit your goal. But as long as you're moving forward along that path, you're failing forward. You're not failing back. And the only thing you really have to worry about is fear. And the only time, here's something I'll give you right now. This is what I believe. The only time you fail at failure is when you fail to see why you failed. Or a slight modification is, the only time you fail at failure is when you fail to learn about the failure. So each failure is an opportunity to learn. And if you've learned, even if it's a monochrome of progress on your path, you've fallen forward. Because you've taken that 1 degree step forward and you've fallen forward. If you succumb to fear and you throw away everything you've learned, you fall back. And honestly, like Chesty Puller, failure or falling back or retreat is not an option unless you're retreating to move forward again. And you can only do that if you have no failure or fear of failure. Now, is this something you can say tomorrow, hey, I'm not going to fear failure anymore? Hell no. That's like getting, those of us that have been airborne and jumped out of planes, the first time you do it, you're scared out of your wits, right? Holy crap. What am I about to do? What if I don't open? What if the chute doesn't open? Well, if that happens, you got a pretty easy decision, and that's to pull your reserve. And if that doesn't happen, well, then you don't have anything to worry about it anymore because you're about to meet your maker. But that first attempt is just, you do it. You don't fear it, you go out and you do it. You don't have a choice, right? You're just gonna do it. That's your mindset. Now where the problem lies is doing it again. It's the scariest jump you'll ever be on, is jump number 2. Because now you know what's happening. But that's kind of what I think Maxwell defines as the terror wall. And that terror wall is microscopic thin. And once you bust through it, everything gets easier. And your eyes start opening up. And you start jumping again. You get through your 5th jump, you graduate, you're cool. You go back to your unit. It's time for what we call your cherry blast. And if you don't know what a cherry blast is, ask in the comments and I'll let you know. It's kind of rude. But your cherry blast, you get that, you're scared all over again. Because now you want to perform in front of your unit. But you get through it. And then after 20 jumps or so, you start to notice that your eyes open up. And you start to see that what you did not see before. And so learning a new thing and dealing with the fear of failure is kind of the same process. Try something new, you don't really know what you're getting into, you try it, doesn't work out. Normally, a person's gonna go right back in and try it again. Then that doesn't work out and you start to question yourself. And you start to think, wow, is this gonna happen? And you try it again, you try it again, same thing. You're just trying to, you're trying to analyze what's going on. You're gonna try to accept the fear, or push down the fear and accept the failure and learn from it, and you got that mindset, but that fear creeps back in. And at some point, you're gonna hit the terror wall or the frustration wall. It's the same thing to me. Either you're gonna be so frustrated you're just gonna give up, or you're gonna be so afraid of failure that you don't wanna face the failure again. And that's your pinnacle point. That's when you feel that. You reach down and you say, not today. Not today. I'm moving out, I'm gonna continue on. And it may be falling back to move forward a little bit, but you're gonna go at it with the mindset that you're gonna fail forward. And so, if you're watching this, I ask you to challenge yourself and fail forward. Now we're gonna go back over a bridge here. And you can see the river, it's beautiful, beautiful day. And if you notice, I didn't notice before, but this concrete's not stained either. If you were on me with my Medina Lake Trail, I made a comment that it wasn't stained. I guess it was just because it's such brand new concrete. This is more aged. All right, heading uphill a little bit here. Up to the left there is the an old brewery. It's like way old. Lone Star Brewery. It's completely abandoned now. I think I'm gonna take you up there. Let's go up to Lone Star Brewery, just see what it's like. You'll see this place is a trip. Completely ghost town. At one point, it was worthwhile. I mean, you may have heard of Lone Star beer and all that, but it was being bottled by somebody else and see it at all. But they got this area here. And you can see people are going in, probably to spray paint. but it's completely abandoned. It's just a bunch of hangouts for goofballs and young people. You see it's covered in spray paint. Completely abandoned. Wow. Head back up to Blue Star, kind of an artist colony, and that'll be our turnaround point today. Hopefully we got some water up there, because this goofball forgot to get water. I think there's a bike station up there with a drinking fountain, so it should be alright. Another view of Lone Star. Thanks. And you can see there's some vehicles in there, so I don't know what they're doing, but it's pretty much a ghost town, like apocalypse style. Alright, so now go back down here. I have one of these radars on my bike. It's really nice because it lets you know when somebody's coming up behind you like that car. Because 20-pound bike versus a 2-ton vehicle, I can guarantee who's going to win that every time. So this area here is where they'll actually, some businesses will rent kayaks upriver, and they'll recover them right here. They let you kayak all the way down to the middle of the city down to this point. So if you're a tourist, you want to check that out, it's kind of cool. Mexican tree duck, whistler, tree duck, Mexican tree duck. Alright, this is the artist area. Blue Point, I forget. We'll know in a minute. On your left. of the best breakfast places in San Antonio, arguably, is the Gunther House. And it's the original owners of the Pioneer Flower Factory. It's actually on the flower factory ground. It's beautiful. If you come to San Antonio, that's a place I would say is a do not miss. Alrighty. Up here it's closed. Usually ride in the morning, but right now it's closed. You got the Blue Star Bicycling Company, bike shop. It's nice to know it's here if you ever riding on this trail. A lot of things are closed. smells great down here. It's like I'm trapped. Yep. Go back. Nope, it's pressured. Alright, good. That's nice. head back. Look over here real quick. Bike station. Feels better. Sorry, sorry for that. So again, I'm filming it's the 360 X5 up front on a handlebar mount. Standard gear, got that Garmin computer up front. In my ears, or outside my ears, they got aftershocks. I'm rocking those Pro Moves or Move Pros, I forget. Huge fan. It literally makes you think that you got music inside your head. Kind of cool. I got the newest version. It's Open Move Pro 2s or something, where they add an external speaker, kind of a hybrid between a bone conducting and a outside ear. I don't know if I'd like them, to be honest. Because I like the fact that the bone mic literally feels like it's inside of my head. Like I'm running around with my own theme music inside my head, but I can still hear everything around me. It's really nice. Obviously, if you turn it way up, that's not going to be the same experience. But I have it on like a 3, and it's kind of like music playing at a store, just kind of ambient, right? Just in your head. And if you want to know what I'm listening to, I'm basically got it on the Amazon Music station, Classic Rock. Or as I call it, the only rock. You got some music suggestions, put them down in the comments. I'll check it out. I'm a big indie band fan. I like to hear the new kids, what they're bringing to the table. Some really good stuff out there these days. Speaking of, this weekend, Uncle Lucius, or in 2 weeks, Uncle Lucius is coming to the Stable Hall here in San Antonio. That ought to be a great show. Kind of a country rock, new age country rock mix. The countryside of the house, I'm kind of an outlaw country guy. I do like some of this newer stuff. That kind of blends a little bit of rock, a little bit of country. Not the pop stuff. Keep all that. If you haven't given Uncle Lucius a try, yeah, go check him out. Pretty good. Pretty good band. Another really good one, more rock than country, but still kind of a blend with a ZZ Top feel to it. Texas Hippie Coalition. Yeah. They're just entertaining. Let me put it that way. If you haven't heard of THC, well then you're not alive. But you can see the little, even the fun with the name. But the Texas Hippie Coalition, they'll probably hate me for this, but I think they're out of Austin. But yeah, really good band. Really good music. I gotta tune my brakes, or not my brakes, my gears. They keep slipping on me. Back around the neighborhood here. Done 15 miles so far. Not too bad. Nice and easy. We got like 2 or 3, maybe 4 miles left. Maybe 5. I don't know. I think the ride from Espada Mission to Blue Point or Blue Star, excuse me, is 10 miles. I'm not really sure. I'll find out. Get back up here. All right. So one of the readers or watchers, guys that watch this, one of my, I think, 4 people. Thank you, all you 4 that watch these. Suggested a VR site. I'd never heard of this thing before. I looked at it real quick today. Very interesting. Man, put on a VR helmet, I guess, or goggles, rather, one of those things, and watch it that way. That'd be crazy. I've always wanted a reason to buy one of those. I think you just gave it to me. But yeah, for my 4 people that actively watch, appreciate you. You know, I'm doing this more for myself than anything. Just to get out, motivate me to get out, get riding, and talk to people. Post it. Thank you. And if you do trail walk, remember, if you're walking, go to the right. You expect the rider to go to your left. But they did it early. They looked back, they saw me. That's the best thing, acknowledge anything. And you'll hear I got these really loud rims just for that. Just so I can be like a horn coming at you. First of the 2 suspension bridges. Another video logger there. If you saw his chest mount. I wonder where he's riding. We'll have to look him up, see if he's on YouTube. Let's see, John. Figure him out. If any of you know, please comment below. I'll go say hello to him. Kind of a cool, kind of a cool community, especially if you're just doing it fun. Hey, appreciate you, thank you. That was nice of that guy to give me the bridge. I'll tell you, good on him, because I wasn't even paying attention. Oh man, you gotta keep your head on the swivel, man. Keep your head on the swivel. Family bikers. It's a big thing out here. A lot of people love these rental electric bikes. Personally, I don't know. What do you think? E-bikes okay? I kind of like them. You know, they get people out. And yeah, okay, some people are just riding the electricity the whole time, but you know what? They're outside. And hopefully eventually they'll start pedaling too. And then eventually they'll want to be a rock star like me. Get on these fast bikes. But there's nothing. There's nothing like it. And, you know what got me into biking was, when I was a cool guy back in service days, jumping out of airplanes, skydiving, all that stuff, shooting guns, doing things in weird places around the world. When you come back to the regular life, it kind of gets boring. And yeah, I could have gone, the nearest place to go skydiving is like 2.5 hours away. I could do that, but I started checking out spin classes because I'd heard some hype and they're like, you can't handle it, and I got on there. And I tell you, I was just thrown right into it. And I think it's the math of it. And so I'm in there spinning, checking my, the resistance versus the Newton's power that you're doing, and projecting distance and RPMs and all that stuff. And I just kind of liked it. I'm doing an hour advanced spin class, just love it. Getting at it hard as I can. And one day the instructor, he comes up to me and he's like, hey man, there's this ride called the Wildflower. You ought to come out and ride it with us. It's 100 miles. And I was like, man, last time I rode a bike I was like 13. And so he basically dared me into it. And I'm like, well, I don't even know where to start. He said, well, you start by getting yourself a bike. And duh. That's that old lesson, break your problems down into bite-sized chunks. So I got a bike, and I joined the group there, and we started riding every weekend on Saturdays with this group. And so we started out, it was basically 3 groups, and depending on your experience, but really good group. They taught me all the rules of the road, the etiquette, group ride etiquette, all that kind of stuff. Whoa. And I just had a really good time. And so that was like in March. I'm riding 50-mile rides consistently all through April and May, and then in June, I think it was May or June, we went out and did the 100-mile ride. And I was stoked. Century ride. Now, for those of you that don't ride bikes, that's like 5.5, 6 hour ride. It's basically the marathon version of a bicycle, on a bicycle. Century ride. And, how you doing? And so, it's an endurance challenge. It's nice. And I had a goal of trying to do it in 5.5 hours. Seat slipped there a little bit. It's crazy. So 5.5 hours. And I remember riding with some groups. You kind of pick up groups, you leave groups. But it's a grueling Wildflower ride back in the day. I don't even think they do the 100-mile anymore. But grueling ride through hill country for like the first 75 miles. And then you drop into the flats. And so you're with different groups, you're just trying to gut it through, right? You're just going, you got your stops. And then at some point, I just kind of was like, oh my God. Somewhere around mile 90, I realized I made a horrible mistake. And I had missed my last fuel station. And so now I'm like, what do I do? I'm starting to boink pretty bad. I just like, yeah, you gotta reach in, man. You gotta reach in and go. And so I do. And I don't really remember much from like mile 91 until like 97. Because you could look, mile 97, you can look across the field. And you can see this old, dilapidated, kind of 80s style mall out across this field, and that was the finish point. And man, I tell you, what a great time. But yeah, so started riding, rode my first Century in like the first 3 months, and just fell in love with it. And then, have had like a on again, off again relationship with the bike. And tried to keep it up as I moved down south. The roads down there are really rough, and so I kind of fell off it. And then, well, my wife got a bike, we started biking again. And then I started this channel, and I said, I got to get out on the bike more. It's a lot of fun. It'd be really fun to video it. And so yeah, here I am. So again, to my four viewers out there, hey, it's because of you. You're keeping me going. I appreciate it. We'll see where this journey takes us. Well, good times, falling forward. Anyway, getting to be, the sun's getting pretty low on the horizon, so it's time to go home. So let's just concentrate on getting back. Beautiful weather right now. Look at this gal just getting it. Good job. That's all you need to do. 1 foot forward, 1 foot forward. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you are in life. Doesn't matter where you're doing. Just go 1 foot forward. So this art, we came through the other way. It's kind of brown. But this way going south. Look at the colors. Beautiful. I don't know what the message is. Is it everything's got two sides? Who knows? Alright, coming up on the aqueduct, which means we are close to the end. What a neat place to live, man. Right there off the aqueduct. Wow. So I don't know if it's because the water's high or they've been cleaning it out, but the aqueduct used to be full of turtle, water plant. You can see it down there now. You probably can't see it from the camera angle, but yeah. Memory serves, it's pretty much downhill all the way until we get to the park. See all this trash that blew up into the trees. I don't know what's going on there. But there is a ridiculous headwind right now. Definitely can see that the water came up here. This place did flood. Wow. I didn't realize that it flooded through here. Didn't hit the sidewalk. Looks like it came within a foot. There's 410. lost my chain. Yeah, I definitely got to get this thing dialed in. This is ridiculous. All right, let's go. This is our exit. This is the portal to the Espada mission. Just roll around here a little slow real quick. Definitely gotta adjust those brakes, gears. Ridiculous. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for coming along. Those that keep staying with me, thank you again. And remember always, keep your head on a swivel.